Hey guys, Tim here from JK Boots, and today we're going to talk about the different sole options that we offer and what they are for and what they are best suited for. So let's go check it out. Depending on the particular size of your boot, and so that can vary. As you can see, it's got that red X on the bottom. So like diving into the details. Sorry, I'm going to start over. Jeez. I got an idea. Do I clap again or just go? So before we dive into the specifics of it, here's kind of a fun fact for you. Depending on the particular size of your boot, there's a particular size of sole. Because JK Boots offers such an array of sizes, and because we go from 6 to 14 and we're able to do D, E, double E, 3E, 5E, all that stuff, we also have to carry a variety of soles. And that's a part of the premium offer that we have. And so we're able to dial in your specific size, and that means we have to have a specific sole. And so it goes from all the way as small as something like this, like a size 10 sole, all the way up to something as big as this, a size 15 sole. And so that can vary based on the size of your boot. And there are specific conversions that we use. So if you're a size 6D, you're gonna have a size 10 sole. If you're a size 14 foot, you're probably gonna have like a size 15 sole. And sometimes they get even bigger than that when it gets really custom. We've got to sometimes stretch things and make them work. So that's part of the pretty cool process that we have with our soles. All right, so let's dive into some of the specifics of our soles and look at some of the different pros and cons, and we can figure out which one is best for you. I want to start with a sole that is on a lot of our heeled models, and that is our Vibram 100 lug sole. So this one you can find on some of our models like our Super Duty, Fire Inlander, Climber, or Ironhide boots. This is one of our most tried and true and tested and most classic soles. This sole is called the Vibram 100 lug sole. It also has another term called the Montagna for the type of tread pattern it has. It is extremely durable. It is very diverse, and it's very much all-purpose sole. This sole can work in multiple terrains, from gravel to mud to forest to smooth concrete floor, and it really performs probably the best out of all of our soles. If you're looking for just the most toughest, F350 of boot soles, I would say it's this one, particularly the Red X compound. The Red X compound signifies a particular rubber compound in the sole that adds oil resistance and heat resistance. The specifics, Vibram says that this sole can actually perform extremely well and hold up in a range of temperature from -4 up to 480 degrees Fahrenheit. That's why this sole is the choice sole for all of our fire boots or any kind of welding or heavy oil, diesel mechanics style position, is because it does so well in heat and it does so well in oil. So that's the Red X particular compound. The same sole and tread pattern also comes in our Honey compound, which this is a unique rubber that is same thing made by Vibram, and this rubber is specifically geared towards being a softer, more forgiving rubber compound. And so that's why this one is recommended for anyone who's on a concrete floor, looking for a little bit more cushion, comfort, or grip. And we also love it for that person who's just looking for a little bit more of sure-footedness, as it does really well on roofs or any kind of area that you just need a little bit more grip on. That honey sole really sticks well. It also doesn't leave marks if you're on a vinyl floor, so that's a little pro tip for you. The next compound is in our 100 sole offerings is the White X compound. The White X compound is also, again, made by Vibram, and this is a particular compound that was designed to work well with ice and cold temperatures. So the idea behind it is that it would be more grippy, it would be more softer, and it would stick better to ice and slippery conditions, and it would do very, very well in cold conditions, extremely cold conditions. That's why this is the choice sole for our Arctic model. That's our winter boot. It does the best in those types of conditions. If you're trying to choose between the 100 soles, it really just comes down to more of the specifics of your job. If you're looking for something that's just completely all-purpose and is going to do really well in almost any condition, it's the Red X compound. If you want to lean towards comfort and grip, and you also are afraid of leaving marks on a floor, you want to lean towards the Honey compound. If you're looking for also cushion and comfort, but specifically cold conditions, you want to shoot for the White X compound. Next, I want to look into our wedge sole offerings. So these are our two wedge sole offerings. It's actually the same sole, but just comes down to different color. This is the Vibram Christy wedge sole. This is a great sole. We've been using it for a long time. And this is a sole that is found on our 4Front model and 300 model. We like the sole a lot because it's very comfortable and it works really, really well for an indoor shop environment. So what does that mean? That means it works really well for concrete or smooth smooth flat surfaces or some position where you're standing on your feet all day on a hard surface. We recommend it for those reasons because it just adds that layer of cushion and comfort, and it also won't track any mud or dirt. So this is a highly sought after sole for anyone who's on a concrete floor, or also carpenters or individuals who have to work inside homes, or maybe they're transferring between outside and inside. It won't track any mud or dirt, so that's one of the reasons it's sought after. It does have a tendency to wear down a little bit quicker, but that's because of the softer rubber compound. So it's a bit of a trade-off in regards to cushion and comfort versus durability and longevity. So just be aware of that when you're purchasing your models. But other than that, we love this sole, been using it for a long time, and we highly recommend it. So these soles are 132 unit soles, and actually they are the same tread pattern, and they're also the same rubber compound as the Vibram 100 lug sole we were looking at earlier. Again, still made by Vibram. The difference here is that it is a unit sole. So instead of having a separate sole and heel piece, it is a single unit sole. This sole is used on our OT and 300X models. The reason that we like this sole is for all those previous mentioned reasons of how great the honey rubber is and how great the Red X compound is. But in addition to this particular style of the 132 sole, it allows you to have a lower heeled, lower arch boot. So the OT and 300X are great because it's for that person who just doesn't need that tall heel and doesn't need that tall arch. It now comes down to comfort and more personal for your foot needs and your foot comfort needs. So if you've got a little bit of a flatter foot, a little bit of a lower arch, and you're not looking for a tall heel, you want to shoot for the OT model that has the 132 unit in a Red X or the 132 unit in a honey. Like I mentioned previously, the Red X is just that all-around, all-purpose, all-durable, oil-resistant sole. And that honey sole is also great, but it is a softer compound. It's shooting more for cushion, comfort, and grip. We've had questions before on why the heel portion of the 132 unit sole is hollow, and the reason for this is because it saves weight. It doesn't remove or take away any type of functional part, and it's actually only really hollow here in the dead center, and they leave a strip here for that function, but it saves about roughly 4 to 6 ounces of rubber. And if you take that and you multiply it by 10,000 steps, it makes a big difference. So that's another reason that I really love the 132 unit sole. The last and final two soles that I want to go over are going to be our V-bar and 430 soles. I put these in the same classification just because they are more of a smoother tread, but we'll talk about them. So both these soles are also very old school Vibram soles. They're great. They've been around forever. And let's start with the 430 sole. This is a pretty common one, and we see it a lot on a lot of more Western or low profile boots. And we also see it on a lot of casual boots because it looks good and doesn't have as deep of a tread. The idea behind it is that it is for someone who needs tread, but just not as much as a 100 sole. And the idea why it was positive for ranchers and stuff is because they just wouldn't track as much mud and dirt. And what's good about it is also oil resistant. So the idea for like a farmer is that he can go from the shop floor, fixing equipment out to the field, and he's not going to track mud and dirt, and he'll have oil resistance in the shop, and it'll still have some tread out in the field. I personally have built boots for hundreds of farmers, and I've just seen them use this sole. They love it. They're always big fans of it. It is thick. It wears a long time. This sole comes on our Western Packer and Harvester models, so it is very much loved by a lot of different people. So it's a great sole. I don't think you can go wrong with it. It's now just kind of more down to like your needs and how far you want to go in terms of traction and durability, and maybe you want to strike a balance, and so if so, that would be a good option for you. The next one is our V-bar sole. This has the same type of compound as 430. It's oil resistant, made by Vibram, and it has no mark on it, so it doesn't leave marks. But this is like a more smoother version of the 430. Still somewhat of traction by having these V's on it, but the idea is that it's very smooth sliding. So it is something that is sought after by guys who spend time in a saddle, so ranchers, harvesters, farmers, and we also see it the same application as the 430 sole. It's almost kind of like a step down on the traction scale and definitely won't track any mud or dirt in. We also see it for a lot of casual and like heritage application, so it's sought after for a lot of the Western Packer models and the Harvester models, same idea, and we see it used by a lot of farmers. So that's that sole. All right, guys, that's it. That covers all of our soles. Please stay tuned and watch more of our stuff that we have coming out. We got a lot of good videos coming out. That should cover everything that there is about soles. We do have new and awesome and improved stuff coming down the pipe, so we're excited to release that later. But thanks so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and share these videos with your friends. We'll see you on the next one.